Hi there, everybody. Welcome to my makeup table. I am so excited today about bringing you a really springtime look, but it's going to also have a little bit of metallic mixed in. So to get started, I've chosen a color palette today that I don't use very often, but I just think it's going to be really super pretty. So I've already got my foundation, my concealer, my brows on. So we're just going to get right into the tutorial. And what we're going to do is concentrate on this color palette, the greens and the golds. So that's where we're going to go today. So starting out, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use pencil to deepen your powders. Remember, anytime that you put a pencil with a little bit of cream on first, it's going to grab your powders ever so dark. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, is we're going to deepen and intensify our colors by first using pencils. So this happens to be a forest green. It's a really deep green. And we're going to start by placing it into the lash line, really concentrating on getting it deep into the lash line for intensity. Now sometimes you can do that by literally stroking in your lashes, but again, this trick that I love is you go to your very last lash and you work up from there, and you kind of work out as if you were doing a check mark. That's going to really bring the eyes out a lot and give you like a nice pretty cat look. So again, your liner in a deep green, and I'm going to apply it on the inside of my eye so that when I put the powder there, it's going to get even brighter. So you can see how that's starting to appear like really much more bright than had you started going to just powder right across the innermost portion of your eye. Don't rub it, don't smudge it, don't do anything to it yet, because remember, it's almost acting like a shadow base. So we want to go back in now to our colors, and we're going to take a sponge applicator. I want to find my favorite one. Here we go. And we're going to go into this gold range. I'm going to start with this color. And you're going to tap that right over the pencil. So you can see how it's really starting to get quite bright because of that pencil grabbing. Now I'm going to also take the powder and fill in the inner corner of my eye with the gold. You can extend it a little bit up, right through here. So you're creating almost one ray of the rainbow. Now we've got some nice greens. We've got a Kelly green, we've got a more golden green, and we've got like a forest green, maybe even a deeper shade of forest green. The color that I'm going to start with is this goldy green. And I'm going to take that and put it across my lid. So remember, it's the goldy green right across my lid. So now you've got sort of a burnished gold going into this coppery green. It's going to be really pretty when we get it finished. So the next step will be that we're going to go into this tone here, which is a matte color. And we're going to apply that into the crease. Now, I always say this, I'll say it again, don't worry about making a mistake because we're going to blend it so much so that you will never see where one color starts and another finishes, because that's the good sign of a makeup, is that it's all going to blend nicely. So what I'm going to do for this makeup is I'm going to bring it slightly down here in the crease. And I'm going to start shading. Now, it's looking pretty crazy right now. It's looking very stripy, very not good. But we're going to leave it for the time being, and we're going to go back in to now the deepest shade of green. This happens to be beautiful because it's got sparkles in it. I love this shade of green. I'll show it to you. You see the sparkle? By the way, this is an e.l.f. palette. I did review it before. It was a whole big whopping $5 at Big Lots, and I just absolutely love it. I'm having so much fun with all these colors. So we're going to take that glitter green and we're going to place it right into the lash line. Now remember, I said it's looking very stripy. Let's not worry about that yet, because we're going to start to do some shading and some smoking with these colors. This sort of mustard yellow, and place it right under the lash line. It's going to be really, really pretty when light hits it. And I happen to have green eyes, so the idea that I would use greens around my whole eye, I believe would fight my eye color. So I'm using golds to bring out this mid-tone. And this is what we're going to use to shade out that awful shape. And don't be afraid to use it, because it is a lighter color over your dark, so it is not going to change the color of your shadow. It's just going to help shade. Sometimes when you shade with the brush that you've used with your dark color, it just sends the dark color into a place you don't want it. So the trick is to use a lighter color on top of it to help to blend. You can really see now how that's taken the hard edges off, and it's starting to get a very pretty shape to it. Now, I'm really starting to like this. I think it's like a very pretty gold green metallic. It could be for a wedding, it could be a spring day, it'd be great for girls' night out. It's starting to look really, really metallic. I'm going to curl my lashes, which I always do every day without fail. And we're going to move on to kind of an unusual little color that we're going to place to do an even more blending technique. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this family. Now this is more of a peachy pink. And I'm going to just lay it in the very upper region of the eye. For an even more metallic look. And use it as a highlighter. So the only place that I have placed a matte powder was in the crease. Everything else is pretty metallic. So there you go. You've got a metallic eye. I'm going to put my mascara on, and I'll be right back with you. So looking now into my eye, you can see that I have applied the gold pencil, which really grabbed the gold shadow. I've done a dark green line here and then put the dark glitter green over it. We've done a matte, some shading with another metallic color, and a highlighter. We also did a little pink out to the side. That's just going to warm up the eye a bit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with a color mosaic wheel. I like these color mosaics because they can kind of give you a lot of bronzing effect, but they also are giving you a lot of different tones. You've got some bronzy tones as well as peachy tones, which peach is always going to warm up the face. And we're going to apply that to the temple area, under the cheek, very lightly. You're not going to be using this heavily. If you are ever worried that you may have too much product on your brush and you're worried that it's going to get too dark on your cheek, the thing is to blend and flick out or into your hairline and get most of it off the brush and then start your blending. It's kind of a little method that you can use if you are maybe a bit more heavy-handed than most. You should not be going into your product heavily. It's supposed to be a very light touch with your blush brush. Across the nose, chin, a little bit under your neck, and you're just blending that ever so nicely until you're satisfied that you've got it even. Now we're going to move on. So as we're moving through our makeup application, we can really have a lot of fun with lipstick. It doesn't have to be so serious. I have chosen today a L'Oreal lipstick that is a gold color. I mean, it is a straight gold. And I figured with all the metallic that we're doing, gold is going to be really light enough, metallic enough, and it's going to keep a lot of light in the face. What a pretty color this is. We're then going to take my tried and true, crazy, cheap lip liner. It is a Maybelline eyebrow pencil in medium light brown. And we're just going to define the very outward border of this lipstick. So you can see this light may be making it look like it's a crazy yellow. It's actually a very, very warm, beautiful, true gold that if you were at a cocktail party with gold jewelry, this would just be the prettiest look in the daytime. So I like a lot of metallics when you're going from a cocktail party hour into evening, because they're both going to look good. As the sun is setting and that golden light hits you, that's the time for photographs with all of your friends, because your makeup is going to look amazing in that kind of light. So I'll close my eyes and let you take a look. Now remember, what we've done again is you're using pencils to create the intensity and make your shimmer powders grab a little deeper. That's all we're really doing for this makeup. And other than that, it's just blending, 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 and using some really pretty tones that are complementary to one another. And yellow and green seems to be a strange combination, but on the face, it is actually really, really beautiful. So I hope you try this makeup tutorial at home. Don't be afraid, and don't think that you have to use the products that I've used. You don't. You can use any combination of light to dark metallics and see how you do. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed being with you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.